Well, do you remember where the PO for this invoice is?
I cannot remember it now.
Dalia, who got the PO?
Naji.
Naji, where's the PO?
I really don't know.
Hi boss. So it seems some of the prices on the invoice do not match the ones on the PO. Yes, of course. My name is Samer Mihyar and I'm the Regional Marketing Manager at Kodak Alaris. Gartner estimates the cost of processing an invoice in the UK anywhere between £4 and £25, and in some cases it reaches £50. In the US, Sterling Commerce estimates the cost of processing an invoice between $13 and $15, and it reaches $40 in some cases. So why processing an invoice is that expensive? And most importantly, do you know how much an invoice is costing you? To determine why invoice processing can be so expensive, we need first to understand the process of accounts payables. Let's give a simple example here. Office management identifies shortages in some stationery items, so they send a request to procurement to replenish them. Procurement issue a PO to the supplier. The supplier sends back an invoice with their offer. Procurement validate the pricing against the agreed price list and approve the order. Products are delivered and the delivery note is given. Information on the PO, invoice and delivery note are checked and order is approved. Payment is generated and sent for approval. Payment terms are checked and payment is released. Is that it? Yes, but no. This process is very labor-oriented. You've got so many points to check and validate manually, which might take a lot of time. Add to that dealing with exceptions and errors, which means a lot of the steps may need to be repeated. Usually, there are several people that handle this process. But let's assume there are 3 people. One that checks the documents and enters the payment, one that approves the payment, and one that releases the payment. To determine the cost of labor in this process, first, you need to identify the amount of time your employees are spending while processing invoices and multiply that by their hourly rate. So if you look in our example here, then the total cost per month is $3,615. Now you must have some sort of backend systems where all the data is going to. So let's assume licensing fees for your ERP system and your fraud detection software are around $1,000 per month. That's your infrastructure cost. Now into payment related costs. If you are using paper check as a method of payment, then you'd need to look into things like paper check cost, envelope stamps, and other items. Let's assume that would cost you $50 per transaction. And let's also assume that 80% of your transactions are done this way. The other 20% are paid in an electronic method. Things like ACH transfers and wire transfers. That also comes at a cost. And let's assume the cost is $1 per transaction. Now, if you process 10 invoices a day, that's 220 invoices a month, then you'll be looking at a monthly cost of $4,747. That's $21.6 per invoice. And I haven't accounted for lost discounts and late payment fees. Add those to your equation and you'll be shocked with the cost of your accounts payables. 76% of the costs come from labor. And this is mainly due to an accounting technique called three-way matching. With three-way matching, employees need to cross-check description, cost, quantity, terms of payment, and math on POs, invoices, and delivery notes. Obviously, validation is an intensive step here in this process. And because it's done manually, there's so much room for error. That's why in so many cases, you find several people doing the validation process. Automating your accounts payables can potentially reduce your cost up to 70%, driving your cost from $21.6 to $6.8. Now, how can you do that? Deloitte released a paper discussing strategies to optimize accounts payables. And one of their recommendations is to invest in a solution where you scan invoices and automatically track and validate data from different forms. And we can help you do that. Let me show you how.
So what Dalia is showing you here is the ability to scan physical documents, which then go directly to our capture engine. In this example, you can see that all information on the invoice is extracted and is ready to be pushed into your backend system. In this example, if you look on the right-hand side, you can see that the invoice number is not clear. So the system flags that out. You can manually key in the invoice number and then push the information to your system. Our capture engine can also help you in validating information. So if you think back to three-way matching technique, our system can help you automate that process. So in this example, you can see that line item matching has been flagged out. If you go into the details, then you can see that all the items have been validated correctly except for one. You can go through this, manually key in the information and then process it into your system.
So what Dalia showed you is suitable for a centralized environment where all invoices come into a central place. It can be physical, it can be digital, whatever the form is. You've got a centralized engine that automatically classifies the invoice, automatically extracts information, does the validation and processes it into the system. But if you operate in a distributed environment where you've got branches across the country or the globe, as a matter of fact, then have a look at this.
You simply scan the invoices, images go to your back-end system, data is extracted, validated, and a message comes back telling you everything is okay. Again, the manual need of three-way matching here is eliminated.
So have you done this exercise? What is your actual cost of processing an invoice? If you're looking to reduce your cost, then reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you.